All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode in our series of painting this Valkyrie with mediocre painting with me, Wayne. And life's hard. Let's just get this fucking thing done because I'm ready to move on to something else. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna use some matte varnish to coat these decals that we applied last time as a precaution to protect them, just in case if we spray the model and these weren't sealed properly in the factory or whoever that made them, and they don't just disappear on us. This happened years ago with a set of decals. I think Battlefront or somebody was the one that put them out, and a lot of people were having troubles. They put these decals on their model and they go and spray varnish them, and the decal would disappear because it would just get dissolved. Ever since then, an ounce of prevention versus a pound of cure, or some old bullshit. I don't know. And you can use any matte varnish. I just happen to have this Vallejo Mecha matte varnish laying around, and I think the bottle looks cool with the robot on it because I'm a fucking sucker for robots. Go figure, I'm painting one. All right, so we're just going to take our brush and we're just going to dab a little bit of matte varnish on the decal and on the decal. And on the decal. And on the other one. Easy peasy. So now we got our decal coated with some matte varnish. All right, well that's drying. We're gonna start working on the base of this fella. I always edge my bases in black anymore. It's just an old school method of doing things that I've always aspired to. Let me back the camera up. Oh, wrong way. Wrong way, dumbass. Here we go. So I'm gonna do this in black. And on the inside, we're just gonna fill it in with some sand paste. And for the stem, his flight stem, you got a lot of options for colors for these because it's really, you're supposed to ignore that it's there just to show that the model's flying. So I'll probably do that in black. Some people will do them in blue to represent like sky or whatever. I just do mine in black typically. It's my old school bottle of Chaos Black that is filled with current Abaddon Black, I believe is what I put in there. So, and it's got a mixing bowl. So if you hear it clicking, that's not my knees popping. That's this bottle. I hate the new GW pots and I love these old ones. Nostalgia #1, because I figure if I can collect enough items from my childhood, I'll be transported back there. I just haven't hit the right number of items from when I was a kid yet to go back to when shit wasn't all fucked up. So, still trying to get there, but these pots don't dry out. So the new GW pots dry out like a motherfucker. So I take that Abaddon Black and I use a scraper and I scrape all that shit into here and toss that motherfucker away, and then we got this. And I think I bought this thing back in like '94, and it's kept my black paint secure for me for a very long time, as you can tell by how ridiculous the container looks. So anyway, that's my diatribe on old Citadel paint pots, which were the best. So anyway, I'm rambling. Things broke off, but it provides okay because then I can scrape paint out of this lid to put in my bucket here. Because you're not supposed to paint out of the pot because leaving it open and whatever will dry your paint out quicker. So you put a little bit on the palette, close it back up, we're good to go. If you get outside of your lines, nothing can't not be fixed at this point. Especially when you got like attachment points in here that were formed by glue, apparently, when you re-glued your model for the third time after breaking it. And you'll notice the paint is kind of light. We got some streak spots here for the black doesn't cover completely. And that's okay because we'll just come back and hit it with a second coat here in a second. There we go. Give that a few minutes to dry. We'll pick out any spots and then we'll go on to the basing and then the spray varnish, and then this fellow will be pretty much done. So let's add a couple seconds to dry. So we just hit our light spots again with a second coat of black. That way we can be assured of good coverage. Okay, so now we got our flight stem and our basing started. And to help out my basing a little bit, I'm going to paint the inside, because this is an old Battletech base and they're recessed. They're recessed because the old Battletech minis used to have like a big kind of lead oval footprint on them that you'd glue into here and then fill in around it with putty and then your basing material so that it would look like it was like standing even with the top of this ledge, which was pretty cool for the time that they were made. It's a good idea, but when you're doing kind of a modern miniature that typically stands flat, it looks like he's standing in a sinkhole if you don't fill this in with like a pretty heavy mixture of like either sand paste or putty. And I just do this black in here to help hide any gaps or non-covered areas when we start filling this in with texture, so it doesn't have a big glaring white spot in case you miss some, or in case some breaks off later while you're gaming, which anybody who games knows that shit happens too. All right, now we wait for it to dry and we'll get some sand paste here. All right, I'm giving that a few seconds to set up. We're gonna fill in that base with some pretty easy stuff to use. The Ammo of MIG acrylic mud for dioramas. It's just a greenish gray colored sand paste, and this is our like use around the shop for stuff community jug of it, so it makes it, you know, it's convenient. They make this in a variety of other colors, as you can see from the back. I like it. I wish they had a little bit more variety. I mean, I don't know how much variety you can do with mud, but if you're listening to this, MIG, Mr. Jimenez, sci-fi fantasy modelers are a real thing. So maybe something with some like, I don't know, Martian desert scape, or like, I don't know, maybe some blue or some shit. I don't know. 40K players would love you. Anyway, I know you make good shit, but you know, ain't nobody building World War II models around here. Okay. So we're just gonna fill in pretty generously. And I'm using this cheap Tester's nylon brush that should never be used for anything painting wise, because God help you if you tried to paint with one of these. But they're absolutely wonderful for spreading basing texture and glue and other shit. And you can go back in if you got a little bit out of the lines with it, and take a smaller brush and just kind of clean up a little. Like me, I don't want it so far up on the flight stem. And this stuff cleans up with water before it sets up. So you can just get a little water on your brush and move it around as needed. You could thin it out too. Like if you didn't want it so heavy on the sand texture, you could actually thin this out. I don't, because I like the consistency. And there we go. We're filled in now. So this guy, once this sand texture dries here in a few hours, he'll be ready for a clear coat varnish. We might cut to a clip to that later. In fact, I'm pretty sure we'll cut to a clip to that later, because I'm fucking done for today. And yeah, we'll cut it in here so it's look like it's like one smooth thing because, you know, magic of camera shit. But yeah, that's all that's left because I'm fucking done. Bye. All right. Let me know when you're ready.
I'm filming. Did you get a haircut?
I did.
It looks damn nice.
Thank you.